We begin right now with breaking news. A pilot and co-pilot are dead after a collision between an Air Canada jet and a fire truck. This at New York's LaGuardia Airport.
Yeah, dozens of other people were hurt in this. Images show the mangled front of the plane lifted into the air. Officials say the crew and the fire truck was responding to a different incident when they drove onto the runway last night. Air traffic control had apparently cleared it to enter and then tried to change course. Listen.
Stop, truck one, stop, truck one, stop.
LaGuardia remains closed as the investigation gets underway. Stay with News 8 for the latest on this breaking story. You can stream us anytime with the free CBS 8 app. It is 6 a.m. on this Monday. Hope you had a nice weekend, everyone, and thanks for being here. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Netta Irampour, and let's start this hour with your forecast here as well to let you know how to prepare for the week. Yeah. Meteorologist Evan Narani. Not as much red, right?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so not as much red.
Okay.
Not as many monthly records being broken.
It's still hot.
We're still hot,
wow.
and we're still breaking some daily records.
Daily records, okay.
We at least did so yesterday out by our coastal communities, our inland valleys. This morning, one plus side is that marine layer has come out to play. A little bit of fog out by our immediate coastline, maybe even some mist or drizzle as we look inland. But by the afternoon, we'll be back under sunshine countywide. That mist and drizzle in the early morning stretch, that fog, could really help us out as far as keeping things more comfortable earlier on in the day. 72, though, by the coast this afternoon, 85 inland. As we look at that visibility out the door, we're at half a mile of it up in Fallbrook, 5 miles in Oceanside and Kearney Mesa, 6 miles of visibility in downtown San Diego. We will watch for onshore flow to continue, but nothing major as far as wind speeds or wind gusts go going into the afternoon. Want to send things over to Vanessa Paz, checking in on traffic and that fog this morning. Heather?
Yeah, I wanted to actually give you a live look of some of the reduced visibility that we're seeing. This is the 78 in both directions. Driving towards your screen is the westbound drive as you make your way in from Escondido. And you could see that, again, visibility slightly reduced on the 78 in between Escondido and San Marcos at this hour. As we take a look at your traffic maps and see what's happening in terms of crashes, hazards, it looks like we have a stalled car. This is partially blocking the off-ramp in Golden Hill as you approach the 94 westbound to 28th Street. So look out for that. Let's go ahead and take a look at your travel times this morning. We're at steady speeds coming in from the North County, headed south in from Oceanside and Escondido. An 11-minute ride under 15 full span of the 78. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much. Right now, ICE agents are already at some airports to help ease TSA backups. This is new video of ICE officers at the Atlanta airport.
Yeah, this comes as travelers are facing long security lines as a partial government shutdown remains unresolved. News 8's Tori Apodaca live at San Diego International. Some long lines you've seen there.
That's exactly right, and that is what you are seeing right now behind us live here at the San Diego International Airport. Just super long lines as you are moving through security. You can kind of see, though, that within the barriers there are some gaps, so people are moving along, but the lines are pretty daunting just looking at it as you're walking up. A lot of people just in shock. Just a few minutes ago, I actually went out in front and I saw them adding more of those retractable lines, preparing for just the increase of traffic through the airport this Monday morning. And it was a very similar story over the weekend. You can see this photo that San Diego Representative Scott Peters posted on Facebook, just showing what a headache it was for travelers then. The Department of Homeland Security, though, saying that ICE will help alleviate some of these travel disruptions, working in areas that don't need specialized training, like guarding exits so TSA officers can get back to scanning machines to move people along quicker. An immigration attorney we spoke with says ICE presence isn't something new, but will just be added security and measures. But some travelers are worried about immigration arrests, wondering when Congress will come to an agreement on how to fund DHS and end the partial government shutdown.
It's crazy. You know, I heard that. What training do they have? You know, are they going to be helping? What's their role? It doesn't sound productive.
Don't know much about any of that, but I think wherever they can give the TSA people help, but I think it just, as long as it's helping move things forward, right?
Yeah, and back out here live, it's a bit hard to see exactly the full scope of this, just what you're seeing in front of you as it's just packed in this area, but it's really spreading in every which direction of this airport. As we arrived, we even saw a big line out in front of the airport to just get inside to drop off your baggage. And it's a similar story in here, as we've been seeing airport staff really just moving the line along in different directions, kind of trying to snake them in the best way. That way they're able to move through as quickly as possible. But as you can see, people are moving along, but you do need to be prepared to wait. Airport officials really urging people to arrive at least 2 hours before your flight to make sure you make it on time through security, through dropping off your bag with some comfortability once you get through security here. So be prepared if you will be flying today. Reporting live from the San Diego International Airport, Tori Apodaca, News 8.
All right, Tori, thanks. It appears to be at least moving. That's a good sign there. New this morning, the San Diego County Sheriff's Office just confirmed with us that a hiker who went missing in El Capitan Preserve over the weekend is dead. Authorities tell us the hiker went out Saturday morning. Yesterday, deputies, search and rescue teams, and park rangers searched the ground and in the air. The Sheriff's Office is expected to release more information in the coming hours.
Also, new this morning, President Trump has now extended his deadline for Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. The original deadline was tonight, but now the U.S. will hold off on striking Iran's power plants for 5 days. Iran's foreign minister says the Strait of Hormuz is not closed, suggesting that ships hesitate because of what he calls a war of choice initiated by the U.S. Meantime, NATO's Secretary General says 22 nations are planning efforts to protect the key shipping route. Overnight, the State Department issued a worldwide security alert.
Americans, especially in the Middle East, are being advised to exercise increased caution.
News 8's Chris Crow live here in studio, working for you to explain what people can do now to stay informed and stay safe. Chris, good morning.
Yeah, because international travel will likely continue to go on even though we see an alert like this happening. So for those Americans that plan to travel the globe, but especially the Middle East because of the war with Iran, we want to make sure that you have all of the information. Remember, Iran has lashed out with strikes against a number of Gulf countries. Many Americans remain stuck there for now. Now, as for how to prepare for international travel, or if you already are abroad, there is a key process to stay informed of. It's called STEP, S-T-E-P. It's something that you can roll at step.state.gov. It gives you the latest security alerts based on the area you are in. That includes health alerts, if there's a disease that breaks out, safety alerts in the case of conflict, and even weather info for your destination. It can also allow for the embassy or consulate to contact you in case an emergency does happen. Think about something happening very quickly and you need to get to either the embassy or potentially out of the country. It takes about 20 minutes to sign up for this. There's also a U.S. Department of State security updates for U.S. citizens WhatsApp channel that you can join, and you should follow @TravelGov on X for social media to get those updates directly to your phone as well, too. Eric Netta.
Chris, thanks for the update there.
Okay, 6:08 now, Monday morning. Everyone getting ready for a new week and maybe a little cooler. We saw the clouds a little more this weekend.
It's been nice to have a little cover, right?
Yeah.
They definitely help along the coast, and they probably will, especially past sunrise around 7, 8 a.m. If we still have that fair amount of cloud cover, that cloud cover out by the coast can help to stop us from warming up as quickly as we typically did last week. Onshore flow is part of the reason for that. That ridge of high pressure, while it does stay in place for the duration of this week, it's a little flatter than it was last week. Last week, that ridge was so clear and evident and amplified that it just allowed for those afternoon highs to build. Temperatures will build this week, but they're only going to build by maybe 1-2 degrees each day through Friday. And then it looks like into the weekend, we'll finally start to see a little bit of a cool down. But onshore flow is prevalent. Wind speeds and gusts are not all that wild, mainly holding on to single-digit wind speeds and gusts right around 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's a live look outside. You can make out some of the haze and fog as we kick off the morning. Sunrise 6:48, just about 40 minutes out, and sunset not coming our way until 7:03 p.m. Current temperatures out the door are mostly in the 50s, 55 in Escondido, 54 in Fallbrook, 58 in Mira Mesa, some 40s out there with Ramona at 46, and we've got a couple coastal communities in the 60s. On the 10-day temperature trend here, you can see how we do warm up through about Friday, and then the plus side to these forecast models is that after Friday, it does seem like we will finally be on a gradual temperature cool down. Vanessa's checking in on traffic. I know,
like
music
that.
to our ears, right?
I like that. Yeah, and I even saw the chance for some rain.
Yeah.
Maybe, which is very exciting. 6:10, close to that on your Monday. Hope you all had a beautiful weekend. You're looking forward to a pretty beautiful drive. Right now we're at steady speeds in the North County. This is near Poway on the 15 as you make your way out of Poway, headed towards the Miramar and Mira Mesa area. As Evan's been mentioning, there's some slight fog out there, so just make sure that you're leaving maybe time for travel, especially if you're in one of those patchy areas like the San Marcos Escondido area. In fact, as we pull up our Caltrans camera there, you could actually see those cars kind of disappearing way off in the distance as they make their way towards the 15 connector this morning. All right, we are still keeping our eyes on this stalled car. This is as you make your way through the Golden Hill area near South Park into downtown San Diego. Looks like it's partially blocking the off-ramp on the 94 West to get onto 28th Street. Right now, I'm not seeing any slowing though. Due to that stalled car, but again, you may have to slow down as you enter downtown this morning because of that. 10 minutes from Oceanside as well as Escondido, and about a 15-minute ride full span of the 78 from the 15 towards the 5. If you're traveling in from the East County headed west, about 3 to 7 minutes. Steady speeds anywhere between 68 to nearly 75 miles per hour or so. And if you're traveling in from the South Bay headed north, about 10 to 15 in from San Ysidro National City. Full span of the Coronado Bridge, not too bad whatsoever. In fact, we're sitting at about 3 minutes to get you from downtown to Coronado at last check. All right, 6:11 is the time. Let's go ahead and see what's happening with your border wait times. Look at that. That's my gift to you guys this morning. To cross over from San Ysidro's port of entry, under an hour, 40 minutes, and then about an hour 20 if you're crossing in from Otay Mesa's port of entry this morning.